I'm your number one fan.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
Whatever you do, don't fall asleep.
What an excellent day for an exorcism.
My mom and dad are gonna be
Hello.
Hi.
Welcome back to Killer Cuties Podcast.
Yeah, that's us. Happy
is.
Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday. We have... Oh. You liked that, huh?
Yeah, I liked that. That was cute.
Thanks. We've got 2.5 pieces of horror news. You can kick us off.
Okay. So the Willy Wonka Experience that went viral is apparently being made into a movie. Of course. Why wouldn't it be? The focus is going to be on the unknown, which was the villain that they made up for that experience. But also, the production company that announced it was created like hours before they announced it.
Yeah.
So, who's to say? Not me. I think someone saw this go viral and said, how hard could it be? I'm going to make a movie about the unknown. And I cannot wait to see it.
Yeah. Next time anything ever goes viral,
we're making a movie.
We're starting a production company and we're making a movie out of it.
Absolutely.
No, if you go to their website, whatistheunknown.com, it tells you a little bit about what the unknown is. It says the movie is going to follow a renowned children's book illustrator and his wife who are haunted by the tragic death of their son, Charlie.
I am obsessed.
Yeah, it can't be bad.
There's no way. 5 out of 5. That. I'm rating it right now.
Yeah. 5 out of 5 across the board.
Yes.
Hey.
What news did you have?
My news is not as fun, and it's almost not even horror news. But
Great.
I was having a hard time finding anything other than the Willy Wonka thing because that was just so peak horror news. But Kim Kardashian, you probably know her from that one season of American Horror Story. You started laughing before I finished the joke.
Because just saying you probably know her from is crazy. She's Kim Kardashian. If you don't know her, you haven't been on this planet for the past 10 years.
Anyway, she just committed to a thriller movie, which is horror adjacent, but it's produced by Bruna Papandrea, who's known for Big Little Lies and Gone Girl, which are both almost horror thrillers. So I felt like it fit.
Okay.
But also this week, or the week that the episode's coming out, so if you're listening to it the day that it comes out, there are a lot of horror movies coming to theaters. It's very exciting. We've got Late Night with the Devil. Really excited about that one. It's a new found footage film. I think we talked about it briefly.
Yeah.
We've got Immaculate, the new Sydney Sweeney horror movie about nuns. I don't know that it's related to The Nun, but it is about nuns and it is a horror movie.
Not related to The Nun.
Yeah. And then Ghostbusters, Frozen Empire, which for whatever reason is being called horror now. Maybe it's spicier than the others. Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. Those all come out on the 22nd. Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2 comes out on the 26th. And then Mickey's Mousetrap is also supposed to come out this month. And there's not many days left in the month. So it should be dropping soon. Yeah.
Big month.
A busy week.
A busy week, yeah. That's the week to drop, apparently.
Apparently.
Great.
Yeah.
Well,
that's
there's
what you missed
your
on horror news.
Yeah. Great.
Yeah.
Should we talk about the movie of the week?
Yeah. I will give us a quick summary, right? It's my turn?
No, it's my turn.
Oh, why the fuck did I write this?
I don't know.
All right. Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, go ahead.
Okay. Stop Motion follows a young stop motion animator coping with the death of her domineering, celebrated animator mother, and dutifully trying to continue her work. But then she's drawn into a disturbing new project that starts coming for her life. Maybe literally. And that was written by Tasha Robinson for Polygon. It's directed by Robert Morgan, written by Robert Morgan and also Robin King, and it stars Aisling Franciosi. Yeah. Not going to have to do a corrections corner on that one, because I Googled it this time.
Okay. Aisling Franciosi.
No, Franciosi. I looked it up.
Okay. Okay.
Don't.
No, you're fine. You're fine. You're good.
It's Irish.
We got the Aisling right.
Yeah, I got it all right. Google it.
Oh, no. Okay. 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 I believe you.
Oh my gosh. Don't
Aisling
don't
is one of
start
my favorite names. I love the name Aisling.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's from one of my favorite movies. The Secret of Kells.
Oh, okay. The movie that you didn't know the name of.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't seen it in a long time, but it is one of my favorite movies. Top 15. Easy. Yeah.
Great. I'll start.
Well, there's really not a lot about this movie.
I looked up a lot of interviews and got a lot of info that way.
Oh, okay. Smart.
Yeah.
Well, hit
Thank
me.
you.
You've got more than
I
I
am
do.
smart. Well, this is Robert Morgan's first feature-length film. He's previously done just short films, and I didn't realize it, but I'd actually seen one of them 10 years ago. It's called The Cat with Hands, and I rewatched it because it's only like 3 minutes long, to kind of have it fresh in my memory. But it does make sense. It's very weird and has stop motion in it, so it checks out.
Cute.
Yeah. Put that on your watch list.
I will. 3 minutes? Let's watch it right now.
Well, he said all of his shorts are available to watch online. Like, he's put them on YouTube or, was it Vimeo or whatever?
Nice.
Just so that they're accessible.
Huh. Well, I will do that.
Great.
I know this movie was inspired by his 2011 short film, Bobby Yeah.
It was.
Which is also stop motion.
It is.
Did you see his unique materials that he used to build the puppets for that particular film?
I did, yeah. Do you want to tell the people what he used?
I'll tell the people. A year's worth of toenails.
His own toenails.
His own.
To be
Thank
specific.
God he wasn't going around getting other people's toenails.
If I was starting a toenail collection, I'd probably ask around and be like, "Hey, if you're due for a trimming, I could use them." You know what I mean?
No.
Oh. Do you know how long it would take to get enough of your own?
A year. It's literally a year's worth of toenails.
He could have done it a lot sooner.
Well,
although, I also read he did not start that with the intention of using them for the puppet.
So he was just keeping his toenails?
He just started collecting and was like, this is kind of fun. And then way later was like, oh, I could make a puppet out of it. He's a weird guy.
I mean, if that wasn't abundantly clear by this movie, yeah, he's a little freak.
He is a little freak.
I love him.
Yeah, this was inspired by him working on Bobby, yeah, because he made himself sick. He got pneumonia by working on that movie because he just was so obsessed with it. And he wasn't taking care of himself, and yeah, he said it felt like it kind of took on a mind of its own, and that's where this idea kind of stemmed from.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think this movie unintentionally tried to do what Babadook did poorly.
Oh.
Or like not as well. Not poorly. Just not as well.
Explain.
Well, Babadook is the personification of depression, mental illness,
grief.
This feels like the stop motion puppets were also the personification of some sort of something.
Okay.
But to my own point, I'm not quite sure what.
Yeah.
So it didn't do as good of a job as Babadook did.
All right. Okay.
Thanks.
Sure.
That's my only thought about this film.
I took this more of like kind of a unique take on a story I've seen many, many times before, which is a person getting so obsessed with their work that it starts blurring the lines between reality.
True.
So I kind of just felt like it not necessarily that it was a personification, but more of it was just us being put into her perspective of this is taking over her life, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I didn't think of The Babadook when I was watching it, but I did think of another movie that is on our list that it reminded me so much of that I started Googling it afterwards to see if anybody had done anything about it, because I was like, these are very similar films. But it's called Saint Maud, and the underlying story is very similar. And the tone and the pacing and the kind of artistic feel of it, just it felt very similar. But yeah, so that was interesting.
Yeah.
I found one person on Reddit who also felt the same way.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I was like, okay, thank God I'm not the only person, because I kept finding things about Mad God, which is a horror stop motion film. So a lot of people were comparing it to that, obviously, because it's a similar medium. But story-wise, I very much was thinking of Saint Maud the whole time.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What did you think about the girl?
Ella?
I have a theory. No, the girl.
Oh, the little girl.
Yeah.
I kind of felt like it was a personification of herself and maybe like that innocence and her trying to create her own idea and kind of that childlike nature of, oh, we could do this and her finally being able to express that because she's kind of been muted by her mom for her whole life.
Yep.
Great.
My thoughts exactly.
I really didn't feel like it was very metaphorical and artistic, but I felt like the message was pretty clear.
Okay.
I guess I personally didn't feel like there was too much up for interpretation.
Well, if the interpretation is that she's just being consumed by her work,
yeah,
then yeah, I might be just reading into it too much. That seems too like surface level for me. I wish it was a little deeper than that.
Okay.
But I thought the same exact thing about the little girl, that, I mean, she was never named. Nobody was ever looking for her. Like, she was not missing. So
no, I mean, she definitely was not a real girl.
Yeah, like, that's just her subconscious.
Yeah.
And it just happens to be a younger version of the main character.
Yeah. Which I think they made pretty clear. I mean, she literally makes a comment about talking to yourself is the first sign of insanity.
Right.
So I think that was kind of them just blatantly telling us that she was not talking to a real little girl.
Yeah, no, to your point, like, I'm just trying to read into this a lot more than I should be. I wish it was a little deeper than as obvious as it came across. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I literally, when I don't remember what scene I figured out, like, where I made that connection, like, oh my God, it's just literally just her. quote from Emperor's New Groove, "That's me as a baby." I was like, oh, that's her as a baby.
I love that you thought of Emperor's New Groove during
Of course.
this.
While I was watching this movie, of course, it's animation.
Yeah, why would she?
Why
Very
wouldn't I
similar
think
films.
Emperor's New Groove. Saint Maud? Who's ever heard of that?
You know what? Actually, though, not enough people. If you're listening and you haven't seen Saint Maud, go watch Saint Maud. But,
Okay.
yeah, I kind of agree. I think some of this stuff was a little on the nose. Her putting herself back in a box at the end because the whole metaphor that she's a puppet and she's been used as a puppet. And they also, her mom uses the term poppet a lot when referring to her. And Robert Morgan said that they purposefully had Stella Gonet, who plays the mom, say, like, alternate between puppet and poppet so that you were hearing both the whole time. So I did think that was kind of interesting, but it did kind of feel a little on the nose when she put herself in the box at the end.
Yeah. Yeah.
But also, how do you end it? I don't know.
She could die.
Oh, great. Do you think she did? I kind of think she did.
In the box? She gets in the box to die?
I don't think that she literally got in a box. I think...
Oh.
I think that was a bit of a metaphor there, that...
Got it.
She completed her work and then she gets back in the box because she's done.
Somehow this movie is simultaneously too big brain and not big brain enough for me. I just can't quite put my finger on it.
Yeah. We're getting there. That's why we do this, we talk it out.
Yeah.
We get there together.
See, I thought she just literally locked herself in a box.
No, I took that ending as very metaphorical.
Okay.
Because she's literally in the house that's in the film, in her stop motion film. So it did not feel like a real scene to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. See, I think what's happening here is when we talked about watching this movie, you said something about some director that's known for
Lynchian.
That it was going to be really
David
Lynchian.
Lynch.
So I put on my big brain cap and I was like, I'm going to analyze the shit out of this movie.
Yeah.
I'm going to know everything there is to know about every metaphor that has ever been said. And
maybe
then it was
I did you a disservice then.
I think that's what it is. I mean, I was
Yeah.
trying not to blame you outright, but maybe I should.
Well, I think also, though, you shouldn't take my prediction of a film to be a literal and, prediction. You know what I mean?
Oh, that was just a prediction? That was part of your prediction? Is that it was Lynchian?
Well, no, I had heard it described as Lynchian.
Yeah, that's what threw me off.
My interpretation was that it was going to be very surreal. I was thinking it was going to be more like Eraserhead, which is a very weird movie. It's pretty cool, but but I don't think it was quite that far. But I do think it was a little surreal. It was very based on metaphor. It was very blurring the lines of reality and interpreting scenes as meaning things, like the ending. So I do see why it was described that way.
Okay.
But
fair.
Yeah. More fun facts.
Yes, please.
So the live action, and then anytime there's live action and stop motion used together in a scene, that was all shot in only 25 days.
Wow.
Which is crazy. But then all the film within a film stuff, so the whole Cyclops story, the mom's film, Ella's film, that Robert Morgan just shot himself at his house with no budget, just did all that afterwards while he was editing the rest of the film.
Jesus.
So I can see why he made himself sick making another film, because Bobby, yeah, he did by himself.
Yeah.
So I get why he relates to this character.
Yeah.
to do the live action mixed with the stop motion, those scenes. He talked, Robert Morgan. Most of what I could find were interviews with him, so that's why most of my facts are him talking about things. But he said that they had to build 2 different sets that were basically exactly the same. So he gave the example of the bedroom scene. They had to build it on a soundstage and then build a second bedroom that was exactly the same but raised, because apparently you can't do the animation on the floor. Mm-hmm. He didn't really go into details as why, so I'm not going to worry about it. I'm assuming he knows what he's doing. Mm-hmm. But then they had to measure all the camera angles and the lights and everything so that it was exactly the same, and then composite the 2 shots together. Which is so much planning.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's a lot.
It literally made me queasy just thinking about all the work. Couldn't be me.
No. When we make our viral moment movie, it will not be stop motion mixed with live action.
Which is really too bad because I love the concept.
Oh yeah. I thought it was super cool. Mm-hmm. Mixing the stop motion into it. If anything, I would have asked for a little bit more. And I would like to see all of Ella's film.
Please?
Release the full version?
Short film? Yeah.
Yeah. I would like to see it.
Can't be that hard. Just one more case of pneumonia for the director. Yeah, big deal.
Poor guy. Mm-hmm. Do you know what they made the puppets out of?
Steak.
No. They didn't use real meat for the puppets.
Mortician's wax.
No. They used silicone. But they covered them in KY jelly to give them that kind of slimy effect.
Specifically that brand of KY?
That's what Aisling said.
I love that.
Yeah.
Shout out to KY.
Yeah.
I loved the vibe of the puppets. Like,
I know. I thought they were so cute.
Well, that's one. Okay. I just thought they looked cool.
I want one.
Yeah.
I could place that on my mantle.
Totally.
Yeah. Would actually go pretty well with my other decorations, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else? I got nothing. I could not find anything about this movie.
Yeah. I don't know. I didn't have too hard of a time.
Oh.
But just because Robert Morgan did quite a few interviews.
Okay.
He taught Aisling Franciosi how to do stop motion so that she could do it for the scenes.
Cool.
And she really enjoyed it. She said she's not going to do it because it takes too much patience. But she felt like it was kind of meditative, and she could see how someone could get obsessed with doing it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she said when she tried to do it, it took her about 2 hours to do 40 seconds worth of film. Which checks out, but it will never stop being crazy to me how long it takes to do stop motion.
Yeah. Yeah. My husband and I were literally just in Seattle at the Museum of Pop Culture. Mm-hmm. They have a Leica exhibit, Leica, the stop motion animation company.
Yeah.
And they have a little sit down area where you can stop motion animate something for yourself.
Ooh.
Yeah. We waited in line for it an exorbitant amount of time. And then I feel like we were sitting there for hours and we got, I don't know, 10 seconds maybe of footage. It was crazy. But I mean,
definitely requires patience.
Yeah, don't totally. Yeah.
I could never. No. People have described the film as squelchy. Sound-wise. Yeah. Robert Morgan has a Foley artist that he uses who does sound design, and Yeah, he praised him highly, said that he did a lot of great work for this movie. And he also said that sound is 50% of a movie's experience for him. Sound, not soundtrack, okay?
I mean,
not score, sound.
That includes the score.
It does. It does.
I've been saying it this whole time.
You have.
I'm right.
Oh, okay. Well, that's all I had.
So you didn't find that much more than I did.
Well, no, usually we're just both contributing.
That's true.
So it
I'm
lasts
just
longer.
here listening. The one other thing we didn't mention is that this movie's been out for a while. It came out at the Fantastic Fest in Austin in 2023, for which Robert Morgan won Best Director.
Yeah?
We love a festival that appreciates horror movies.
We sure do. But yeah, well, that was like its festival premiere. I think it came to theaters late February.
Yeah, February 23rd.
Yeah, and it's only in select theaters right now, but I think it's supposed to go to Shudder on May 31st, so.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, should get a streaming release.
Good.
For anybody who's not near a theater that's playing it.
Yeah, not too much longer.
Yeah. 2 months. Well, 3, I guess. At the beginning. By the time this comes out, like 2 months.
2 months. Yeah. Yeah.
The time of recording, about 3 months.
Right. Well, how scary did you think it was?
I think like a 1.5.
Okay.
I feel like there was a few moments of tension where you were like, is something gonna, get crazy? But overall, the pace was a slow burn for sure. So
yeah,
I wasn't super on edge. What about you?
I mean, I was a little bit more on edge than you were, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Just because there were not a lot of jump scares in this, and there very well could have been. So I give it a 2.
Okay.
It's just, to your point, a lot of tension building.
Yeah.
And like no release.
Oh. That's fair. How sexy did you think it was?
I gave it a 2.5.
Oh, wow. Okay, what was sexy?
I don't know. Just kind of the vibe.
The vibe was sexy.
Yeah, it was a little squelchy, to your point.
It was, yeah.
But like little, maybe tentacly, kinda.
Oh, you like the Ashman.
A little.
Okay.
And then there's like the egg thing. Which I really didn't get the egg thing.
Yeah.
But like that's its own little community.
Yeah.
You know?
Which we're learning you're a part of. Great.
I didn't say that. I'm just saying
you
that this
included
all
it in the reasons for it being sexy.
contributes to the tone of sexiness. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
I did not say that I was a member of oviposition, kink, whatever.
The fact that you knew what it was called.
And you didn't.
I really did not.
No. Mm-hmm. Whoops.
Yeah, well. It was bound to come out sooner or later.
It is what it is. Ovipositors and proud.
Oh. Great.
What did you give it?
I gave it a 1.
That's unfortunate.
I felt the vibe was very unsexy, actually.
Okay.
The squelching was not doing it for me at all.
I'm surprised.
Really?
Yeah, it just kind of has like an overarching air of sexiness.
I didn't feel that. But I'm not, who am I to yuck your yum?
Thanks.
Yeah.
You really want to. I can see it on your face.
No, I don't at all. I am... Do what you like.
I will, and I do.
Great.
And that doesn't include anything with eggs. I'm just... Anyway.
The silence is loud.
How fucked up did you think it was?
I gave it a 2.5.
Ooh, yeah, okay.
It tapped into two very real things that make me very uncomfortable.
Okay, which are?
One is when she's pulling out the stitches.
Yep.
Because I had surgery when I was younger, but they had to take a graft from above my ear. And after they took the stitches out, I would get phantom pains of the stitches being pulled out.
Yep.
And so I don't like that.
Fair.
And then the other thing, which I never thought I'd have to see on screen, is I have recurring nightmares where my head is like basically made out of wax and like can be molded. And so it's not something I ever thought would be in a movie, and it is. And she just starts tearing her face away, and I was like, yeah, that's quite literally my nightmare. So I didn't like that.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
What
sorry.
about you? Oh, that's okay. It was kind of fun.
Okay.
I didn't hate it. I just hated it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I gave
about
it a
you?
3,
Okay. Yeah.
which is one of the higher
Yeah.
ratings I've given.
Yeah.
It also has one of my triggers, sort of, which is
Yeah.
bones breaking, specifically ankles. Just even talking about it makes my mouth water uncomfortably.
Yeah.
The stitches thing and the like sinew, the fact that word is what described what was happening. That was the word
Yeah.
that popped in my head. I was like, sinew.
Yeah, she yanked
Uncomfortable.
that right out.
Blech. Remind me of those
Yeah.
TikToks that have been going around since TikTok was invented, of like meat moving on its own. Oh, you've never seen those?
We're on different sides of TikTok, apparently.
Oof. Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
I'll send one to you.
Great. Can't wait.
But yeah, that was awful. This scene didn't bother me so much because it was so like artificial. The like clawing at her face scene. It was just so artificial.
Yeah.
It didn't bother me.
I think it only bothered me because I've had that recurring dream. So
Yeah.
it was a very personal attack, if I'm being honest.
Fair. The other one that really got me, there's a lot of scenes in this movie that are just really uncomfortable, but the other one was like her like fingering the guy's face flap.
Yeah, she digs in.
Yeah, she really gets in there. I'm like shaking. I'm thinking about all this. It's like, I was screaming watching this movie. It was just like, oh God.
Yeah. I talked to you before you saw it. And in the theater, when the leg thing happened, I almost audibly was like, oh no, Katie. I was like, I have to tell her if she hasn't seen it yet, because I knew you wouldn't like that one.
Yeah. And thank you. And surprisingly, that scene was not the scene that bothered me the most, I think, because I told you, because it wasn't associated with like the sound. The sound is what really bothers me.
It wasn't a crunch, it was a squelch.
Yeah, thanks.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Just throw up mid-recording.
Yeah. Have I ever told you about the new Lord of the Rings series on Amazon?
No.
There's a scene of my exactly what happened to me.
Oh.
And I didn't know. And I watched it, and like my husband reacted immediately. He like reached over the bed, pulled the laptop down close so that I wasn't like listening to it anymore, like picked me up, started rubbing my back, like went and got me water. I was like heaving.
Oh.
But this wasn't quite that, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, no.
Good.
It's funny how it got us both.
Yeah. Overall, what'd you think?
I really, really love the concept of like mixed medium films. Babadook does it too. Babadook has like animation over live action. This has stop motion over live action. I really enjoyed that, and that bolstered the score a little bit because, I mean, I've been saying I don't know that I understood it, but maybe I did. Maybe I understood it too well. But all that to say, I gave it a 3.
Okay.
I did not hate it, and I would watch it again, especially now knowing when I can turn away. And I've been recommending it to people.
Yeah.
Like, totally you should watch it. It's just kind of a very unique... I don't know, it's just very unique.
Mm-hmm.
So I would recommend it to anybody, but I gave it a 3.
Great.
Yeah. What'd you give it?
I gave it a 3.5.
Okay.
But I will say the more I'm sitting on it, the kind of higher it's getting.
Mm-hmm. That's fair.
But yeah, so I don't know. Maybe if you asked me on my second rewatch, it would be a 4. But right now I'll say 3.5. But
okay.
Yeah, I loved the incorporation of stop motion. That was absolutely my favorite parts of the movie. Again, the story itself wasn't super unique to me because I have kind of seen that played out before. And I think I couldn't stop comparing it to Saint Maud because it is that same underlying story of someone becoming so obsessed with something that it starts taking over.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like Saint Maud did it a little bit better. So I think that's why it's hindering it a little bit. Maybe if I had seen this before Saint Maud, I would have given it much higher. But yeah, I couldn't stop comparing it. So, but I would still highly recommend it. I thought it was a fun watch. And if you liked Saint Maud, watch it because again, very similar.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, but I'm sitting on it. I think right now it's like a 3.75, but I'll give it a 3.5 because it's not quite a 4 yet, you know?
That's fair. I will just reiterate that it is way more fun. Like, if there's one thing that I've learned in this experiment, is that it is way more fun to go into these movies blind with no preconceived notions at all.
Yeah, that's true.
So much more enjoyable. I do think I was overthinking the entire time because I
do that sometimes.
Well, yeah. But like, and we keep talking about Beau is Afraid, or I keep talking about Beau is Afraid because I'm so pissed off at it. I really wanted to love Beau is Afraid and be that girl that's like so excited about, oh, this movie's so weird, but I totally get it, you know? Like, I wanted to be able to like enjoy that movie and just get it. So going into this movie, I was also desperate to do that, and I think it was like too much.
Yeah,
you know?
I think you need to stop wanting to like movies and just when it happens, you know?
Yeah, because I do want to like all of them. I really do.
I think, I don't know, because even movies that we've rated semi-low, at least for me, there are still aspects and parts of them that I do really love. So I think it's hard. Like, I don't know if I've ever... I just really love horror movies.
Yeah.
I think I've seen one that I can confidently say I hated, but that's it. So... And some of them I really don't like. I love to shit on Insidious.
Well,
But yeah, I feel like if you stop worrying about whether or not you're going to like it, you're going to have a much better experience.
yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Well, would you survive stop motion?
No.
Oh, okay.
I am the first person to get overwhelmed by and consumed by a new hobby or work or
That's not true.
yeah, anything will set me off. And it'll only be for a minute, but I could die in that time, so
Okay.
I think I'm dead.
Oh,
I mean, I'm not inflicting as much pain upon myself prior to dying.
great.
It's going to be much quicker.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I think it kills me.
Okay.
How about you?
No, I think I'm okay.
Okay.
I've just never really put my all into anything that much, if I'm being honest. I love cutting corners and taking the easy way out, so there's one thing about me, it's that I'm not going to try that hard.
Well, I think there's a difference between efficiency and cutting corners.
That's true. Work smarter, not harder.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. I think I do good work. I'm just saying, like, I can't imagine myself getting that consumed in something that it would take over my whole life.
That's fair.
Even things I really love and I'm really passionate about, sometimes I'm like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, well.
So, it's not my personality type.
Okay.
Sorry.
Well, I think both of our answers are very accurate.
Yeah. I'd pull you out of it. I'd be like, Katie, stop that. Stop that right now.
And
then we'd go get drinks on a patio and you'd clear your head. I wouldn't let you die.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Can you do that right now?
Sure.
Okay.
Fly on out.
See you in 3 hours.
Great. Can't wait. I still have leftover champagne from the last time you were here. So.
Oh my god. How?
It was like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, but it wasn't that much champagne.
It's 2 bottles.
Easy. It's 2 nights.
I honestly don't really drink unless it's socially.
Fair.
Every once in a while I'll have like a glass of wine with dinner or something, but I'm not just popping bottles in my apartment by myself.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have my obligatory glass of red wine with a steak. And the occasional seltzer while I'm playing video games.
Yeah. I think, I'm much more of a social drinker. Like, if we're all playing games on a Friday night, I'll have a glass of wine or a seltzer or something like that.
Yeah.
Or if I'm, having brunch with my friends, I'll down 87 mimosas. No big deal,
Keep the crafts coming.
There's one thing about me, it's that I'm going to find the bottom of the bottomless mimosas. I'm going to find it and I'm going to stay there. Anyways, now that we've just talked about our drinking habits, do you want to predict the plot of next week's movie?
Yeah. As long as I haven't seen it, which is pretty likely.
You haven't seen it.
Okay.
That I know of, unless you watched it without me knowing.
Okay.
It's called The Final Girls.
Okay. All right. The Final Girls is a Scream X Halloween crossover. Just kidding. That would be really cool, though. No, The Final Girls is a group of college students.
Okay.
All women, all girls, who are friends. And they go to a Halloween party where they get trapped.
Oh my God.
In the house.
Yeah.
And every once in a while, the lights go off and someone gets offed.
Yikes.
Yep. And they are the last ones left. And they
The final girls.
The final girls. They have to figure out how to escape before the lights go off again.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Do they?
Not all of them.
Yeah.
They lose a couple.
Yeah.
I think there's 6 of them to start, and 4 of them make it out.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's a pretty good ratio of survival.
Yeah, I'll take that.
I mean,
those odds.
But the rest of the house is dead, to be clear. So that's like, what, 50 to 100 people?
Yeah.
One at a time.
At least. It's a pretty long movie.
Well, I don't think we have to sit there and watch all of them.
Got it.
I think
Great.
cinematic devices imply that one at a time all these people were dying.
Understood.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah. And that's the film.
Is there a killer, or is it the house that's due? Like, is it just a haunted house?
No, it's a killer. It's a slasher movie.
Great. Who's the killer? He, obviously.
A dude. Yeah.
Okay, just some guy.
Yeah.
Got it.
Because it's about the final girls, not the killer girl.
Not the killer girl.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'd watch that film. This film. That's what I'm describing.
It couldn't be more accurate.
Thank you.
It could be. It could be a lot more accurate. You weren't right.
About anything?
Not really. No.
Oh.
It's slasher.
Oh, so I was right about something.
Yeah, but it's more comedy.
Oh, was that not clear by what I was describing? That I was describing a comedy movie?
No. But
okay.
But great. Yeah, it's a slasher horror comedy.
Okay, I did know it was a horror comedy.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if it was a slasher, but I assumed.
Do you know anybody who's in it?
No.
I mean, you do, but...
Main character's probably a blonde girl.
Great. Which one?
Amanda Seyfried.
Okay.
And then Megan Fox.
That's Jennifer's body?
Damn. I knew it was one of the two.
Yeah. I'll just tell you, because I don't think you're going to guess. It stars Tasia Farmiga.
Oh.
Malin Ackerman. Adam Devine. Thomas Middleditch. Alia Shawkat. Alexander Ludwig. And Nina Dobrev.
Alexander Ludwig?
Yeah.
From Hunger Games.
From Hunger Games. Yeah.
He's
so it's got a pretty well-known cast, I feel like.
Yeah. Almost all those names I recognized.
Oh, who didn't you recognize?
Well, I don't remember because I didn't recognize their names.
Great. We'll find out next week when we talk about the final girls.
Yay! I'm excited. We've been waiting on this one for a long time. It's been a while since we've had a comedy.
2 years ago, our friend said, we should watch this in Discord, and we never did. So
now we can.
The time has finally come.
Yeah. Oh, yay.
Perfect. Well, as always, thanks for listening. If you haven't yet, like, subscribe, follow us on socials. Please.
Yes, please.
But other than that, we'll see you next week for Final Girls.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, I heard myself say bye.
Yeah? Did you like it?
Mm-hmm.